Okay, let's unpack this. Did you catch the stat about anime fans? Something like 1.5 billion worldwide?
1.5 billion, yeah.
That just screams about the sheer scale, you know, the interconnectedness of the whole TV, film, media landscape we're diving into today.
It really does. Makes you think about how content just travels, finds audiences everywhere.
Exactly. And that number is just the start, right?
Oh, absolutely. Think of this as like your curated journey through the latest currents shaping things internationally. We've sifted through a whole bunch of recent news.
Your shortcut, basically.
Yeah, your shortcut to staying clued in on what really matters.
So our mission for you today, our listener, is to pull out the most significant insights, the surprising facts from all these developments.
We want to give you a clear, concise, and hopefully entertaining grasp of the key trends.
Right. What's happening in TV and film right now without, drowning you in details. Ready to jump in?
Let's do it. So maybe start with how different players are navigating the streaming world, because there are some really interesting kind of contrasting approaches popping up.
Right. Okay, like AMC Networks. CEO Kristin Dolan is, well, she's really making a case for prioritizing their traditional cable business and focusing on wholesale distribution for some of those niche streamers like Acrom TV, All Bulk. It feels different compared to the big direct-to-consumer push everywhere else.
It is different. And what's fascinating is that strategic divergence,
Yeah.
Not everyone needs to be a Netflix or Disney Plus stream.
Right.
For these niche services, maybe ones with a really loyal base, focusing on wholesale, basically licensing content in bulk to other platforms instead of managing subscribers one by one for all of them that could actually be, well, more sustainable, maybe more profitable.
Leveraging what they already have.
Exactly. Though they are still supporting some direct-to-consumer, like Shudder, they probably see a stronger direct connection there, better brand alignment, maybe?
Interesting. Makes you wonder if we'll see more of that kind of specific targeted approach. Meanwhile, other side of the world, Foxtel in Australia.
Big changes there.
Yeah, acquired by DAZN, right?
Right.
And they've had job cuts shifting from pay TV towards streaming.
Marketing and engineering, I think.
And they're even reevaluating their streaming aggregator, Hubble.
Well, if you connect that to the bigger picture, you really see the global expertise someone like DAZN brings in.
True.
Foxtel's evolution, it just highlights the intense pressure, even on established players, to adapt to streaming's dominance. Streamlining operations, probably necessary.
And the Hubble review.
Raises that broader question, doesn't it, about the long-term viability of these aggregator services. Do people really want them?
Good question. Okay, shifting to actual content on these platforms. Viaplay, they've got that new documentary like Tears and Rain about Rutger Hauer.
Oh, yeah. Legendary actor.
Sounds like a must-see for fans. Never before seen footage, interviews with people like Whoopi Goldberg, Mickey Rourke.
Wow.
It's out now, US and UK.
It's interesting, the enduring power of biographical docs, isn't it? Especially when they offer a fresh look.
An intimate look.
And the fact it's international speaks volumes about his global appeal, even now.
Definitely. And shifting gears again, different corner of streaming, fast channels, free ad-supported TV.
Growing fast, pun intended. 7. One Studios and Samsung Plus, they've teamed up for a dedicated Married at First Sight channel.
Just that show.
Various international versions. It seems like that format really travels. Plus, spin-offs happening in Germany, France, Israel.
It absolutely demonstrates the power of proven formats, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ones you can adapt across cultures.
Totally.
And the growth of fast, well, it shows there's a big audience segment happy with ad-supported stuff if it's free.
Yeah, cost matters.
It's like a resurgence of the ad model,
Yeah.
A bit cyclical. People trading subscription fees for ads, especially for that more casual, lean-back viewing.
Makes sense. Okay, moving beyond specific platforms, let's look at the big deals. Hollywood behind the scenes.
Always worth watching. The Q1 overview mentioned some big ones. Amazon getting James Bond, that's huge.
Massive IP.
Endeavor going private. The Skydance uncertainty.
Right.
Even with that January slowdown, you mentioned the LA wildfires. Seems like deal activity bounced right back.
It's a good reminder, isn't it? The constant state of flux. Mergers, acquisitions, strategic shifts. It's ongoing. Companies positioning themselves.
Competition's fierce.
And the fact it rebounded after something external like the wildfires suggests the underlying drivers for deals, for growth, are still really strong.
Okay, let's turn to content creation. Some exciting stuff happening. Samantha Strauss, The End, 9 Perfect Strangers.
Yeah, great writer.
She's got new projects. Apple cider vinegar for Netflix. Sounds very timely wellness influencer world starring Caitlin Dever.
Oh, interesting.
And then she's adapting Marian Keyes' Grown Ups, also for Netflix.
Yeah.
Filming in Ireland.
Right, see? Adapting popular books with a built-in audience. Major streamer strategy.
Makes sense.
And collaborating with established talent like Strauss through her label Picking Scabs with Seesaw Films highlights how important those creative partnerships are.
And speaking of books taking a long journey, Richard Flanagan's The Narrow Road to the Deep North, Booker Prize winner.
Incredible book.
Finally being adapted. Amazon Prime Video miniseries. Jacob Elordi, starring Justin Kurzel directing.
Wow, that's great casting.
It's inspired by Flanagan's own father's POW experiences. Apparently took like a decade to develop. A real passion project.
That just underscores the power of important literature, doesn't it? Finding new life on screen.
Yeah.
And that long development time suggests real respect for the material, commitment to getting it right, Elordi and Kurzel involved, signals quality. Could be really impactful.
Now for something completely different. The BBC. Using AI.
AI, how?
To create a virtual Agatha Christie writing instructor for BBC Maestro.
No way! Seriously?
Yeah. Collaborated with Agatha Christie Limited, used an actress, VFX, even restored audio to bring her, voice and likeness back.
That's
They unveiled it at Claridge's. Her great-grandson was there. Makes you wonder about the possibilities, right? And maybe the limits of AI in creative stuff.
fascinating intersection, technology and legacy. They must have used NLP to analyze her style. Generative AI for the likeness, trained on recordings, text.
Probably.
Raises big questions, though. How AI can be used not just for efficiency, but for genuinely unique, creative, educational things. A novel way to connect with icons.
Okay, on a much bloodier note, Eli Roth.
Uh-oh. Horror incoming.
His new indie horror studio, the Horror Section. He had a rather unconventional offer for investors.
Go on.
$1 million investment gets you a personalized on-screen death in one of his films.
You're kidding.
Nope. Aiming for unrated slasher content. Talk about a unique selling point.
That is certainly novel. Maybe slightly macabre financing?
Just slightly.
But it speaks to the horror fan base, right? They're passionate. And to Roth's brand, it's clever, gets attention, attracts a certain kind of investor who appreciates the genre, and the unusual perk.
Definitely unusual. Okay, staying with familiar territory being reimagined. Wisteria Lane.
Sounds familiar.
A new take on Desperate Housewives. In development at Onyx Collective.
Ah, okay.
Kerry Washington's company is producing. Natalie Chaidez writing. Focus on secrets in a perfect cul-de-sac. Seems that formula still works.
The enduring appeal, right. Secrets in Suburbia. Reimagining a hit like Desperate Housewives for today, with Onyx's perspective, tapping into familiar themes, but updating it.
Makes sense. Good news for Shogun fans.
Oh yeah, Season 2.
FX confirmed it. Production starts January 2026. Given the Emmys, the acclaim, there's definitely an audience hungry for more.
Absolutely. High-quality historical drama.
Showrunners Rachel Kondo and Justin Marks are continuing the adaptation of Clavel's novel.
That quick renewal for a show like that, it highlights the value, doesn't it, for streamers? And it shows how rich Clavel's book is, plenty more story to tell.
Guy Ritchie's also back in action. Roadhouse 2.
Already, okay.
For Amazon MGM. Jake Gyllenhaal returning. Will Beal writing. Guess the first one made a splash.
Standard playbook, right? Successful action film gets a sequel. Ritchie directing, Gyllenhaal back. Aiming to recapture that energy. Bigger set pieces, probably.
Sony's 3000 Pictures nabbed the rights to Jordan Harrison's novel, Miss Archer.
What's the premise?
Sounds like Gothic territory. 1884, governess, mysterious boy. And Harrison himself is adapting his own novel.
Oh, that's often a good sign. Author adapting their own work can mean a more faithful, nuanced version. Gothic setting, governess, classic themes. Could be atmospheric.
But, not everything makes it. Luca Guadagnino's Street Rock film.
At DC. Yeah.
Reportedly not happening now. Scheduling conflicts with Colin Farrell, apparently.
Ah, shame.
Just a reminder, right? Even with big names, projects fall apart.
Happens all the time in development. Talent availability, logistics.
Yeah.
It's a delicate business bringing films together, often unpredictable.
On a more solid footing, though, Chris Hemsworth. Submarine thriller. Subversion.
Ooh, okay.
For Amazon MGM, Patrick Volrath directing. Filming in Australia. And the pitch. Die Hard on a submarine.
Okay, that's a great pitch. Concise, effective, tells you everything.
Right.
Casting Hemsworth, high-stakes thriller, clear premise. Amazon's aiming broad global audience, probably. And filming in Australia points to it being a strong production hub.
Definitely. Okay, shifting to the indie side. Metfilm has Lady, Samuel Abraham's feature debut, starring Sheann Clifford,
From Fleabag, okay.
described as a mockumentary with magical realism
Yeah.
about a narcissistic aristocrat who starts turning invisible.
Wow, that's a blend. Mockumentary and magical realism. Could be really unique. And Sheann Clifford suggests strong character work, probably comedic, but maybe deeper themes too.
Netflix is also getting more animated. A new adult animated comedy, Mating Season.
From the Big Mouth creators.
Yep. Set in the animal kingdom, premiering 2026. Sounds like they're doubling down on what worked, right?
Makes sense. Big Mouth was huge.
Yeah.
So extending that style, that humor to the animal world, loads of potential for satire, absurdity, targeting that same adult audience.
Apple TV Plus is beefing up the cast for Imperfect Women.
The thriller series.
Yeah, based on Araminta Hall's novel. Rome Flynn, Anna Ortiz, Shiri Sagyum are joining Elizabeth Moss and Kerry Washington.
That's serious cast.
Centers on the fallout from a crime among friends.
So popular book, strong ensemble, Moss, Washington. This signals Apple's ongoing investment, doesn't it? Compelling, character-driven thrillers, stuff that resonates.
Over in Germany, RTL's adapting the game show Domination.
International format.
Yeah, their version's called Schlauer als Allerschlägste Deutschland. Seems broadcasters are always hunting for formats they can localize.
Absolutely. Adapting successful formats underscores that universal appeal of competitive entertainment. Leveraging proven concepts for specific markets. Smart strategy.
Dylan O'Brien's Sundance film, Twinless.
The dark comedy. Heard good things.
Got a U.S. deal. Roadside Attractions and Lionsgate. September theatrical release. It won the Audience Award at Sundance, too.
Oh, the Audience Award. That's often a strong indicator, right? Potential to connect wider. And Roadside Lionsgate backing it theatrically shows confidence, even for an indie dark comedy. Must have struck a chord.
The BBC's also doing reality programming. Natalie Cassidy learning to care.
The EastEnders actress.
Yeah, 12 episodes following her training as a carer. Could be really insightful, maybe quite emotional, highlighting that profession.
That kind of observational doc, especially with a known face entering a demanding job, can really resonate. Potential to raise awareness about carers, the personal journeys.
In horror film news, Jackie Weaver's joining Joseph Gordon-Levitt in Pendulum.
Produced by Darren Aronofsky.
Yep, set at a mystical retreat. Sounds like it could get pretty dark and unsettling given Aronofsky's involvement.
Aronofsky producing often signals psychological horror, right? More than just jump scares. Weaver and Gordon-Levitt, intriguing pairing, suggests strong performances in an intense story.
Interestingly, Matthew Gray Gubler's CBS drama, Einstein, pushed back to the 2026-27 season. Apparently, CBS cited limited shelf space on the schedule. Makes you think about the competition for slots.
Yeah, that kind of network delay often highlights strategic programming decisions. Maybe they want more time for development, promotion, competitive landscape.
ITV Studios is also adapting a game show, the French one, Werewolves.
Like the card game.
Exactly, for German TV. Based on Le Loup-garou de Tire-Sudou, which is, yeah, basically mafia.
Those social deduction games are enduringly popular, aren't they? Well-suited for TV, engaging, interactive. Adapting it for Germany shows that international appeal.
Daniel Ings has joined Catherine Zeta-Jones in that Amazon series, Kill Jackie.
The revenge thriller.
Yeah, he's playing her longtime crush. Could add an interesting dynamic.
A romantic angle in a revenge thriller. Yeah, adds complexity, emotional stakes. Ings and Zeta-Jones. Interesting dynamic potential there.
And finally, casting-wise, Russell Crowe's Cold War thriller, Billion Dollar Spy.
Right.
Added a fantastic cast as production starts. Tony Goldwyn, Rufus Sewell, Justin Theroux, even Tennyson Crowe.
Wow, that's a lineup. Serious talent.
Production's underway in Budapest.
Yeah, an ensemble like that really elevates a thriller, especially one based on real history, Cold War stuff. Production starting means it's moving ahead with momentum. Aiming high, probably.
Okay, let's zoom out a bit. Global reach. Crunchyroll, like we mentioned at the start.
The 1.5 billion fans.
Massive ambition there, evolving into a whole 360-degree experience. Amazing to think it started niche, now over 15 million subscribers, 200-plus countries.
It really underscores that power, doesn't it? Niche content finding huge global audiences via dedicated platforms. Crunchyroll's journey. Prime example of how media habits are changing, borders meaning less online.
And the UK Global Screen Fund is actively backing international distribution. Over £400,000 awarded to 18 projects.
Well, great to see.
Helping diverse stories reach wider audiences. encouraging.
Absolutely crucial, those funding initiatives. Supporting indies, ensuring more voices, more stories travel, enriches the whole cultural landscape, gives audiences more choice.
We're also seeing the festival circuit buzzing. San Francisco International Film Festival announced its Golden Gate and Audience Awards,
Always interesting to see what resonates.
highlighting diverse films from all over.
Festivals are vital, aren't they? Discovering voices, connecting filmmakers with audiences, distributors. Awards are often a good signpost for films to watch out for.
And LFIF, the Los Angeles Latino International Film Festival, announced its 2025 lineup. Promising opening, closing films, LF Eastside is back.
So important. Festivals like LF provide essential platforms for underrepresented voices, stories. Makes the whole media landscape more inclusive, more representative.
Sunny Side of the Dock is adding new sessions focused on the business side.
For buyers, commissioner.
Yeah, distribution too, really aiming to facilitate more connections, deals in the nonfiction world, it seems.
Incredibly valuable for doc filmmakers. Opportunities to get market insights, network with the people who finance and distribute. Helps important stories get seen.
Looking ahead, NETPE Global and Real Screen Summit are back in Miami in 2026. Expanded programming.
And that crossover day.
Yeah, a midweek crossover day. Sounds like they're trying to bridge the scripted and non-scripted worlds more.
That co-location, the crossover, signals a growing convergence, doesn't it? Recognition that these sectors are interconnected. Fostering collaboration, exploring synergies.
Norwegian dramas seem to be really hitting. A Better Man, Nepo Baby, won top awards at Cannes Series.
Yeah, interesting to see which national cinemas are making waves internationally.
Quality storytelling, production coming out of Norway. Success at Cannes Series really highlights that. Could lead to more recognition, co-production opportunities.
Definitely.
And Lou Jacquet, the filmmaker, leading the jury for Cannes' immersive competition.
Oh, cool. VR and stuff.
Yeah, 9 projects competing, like one called Lily. Fascinating to see big festivals embracing these newer storytelling forms.
It underscores the growing importance, the artistic merit of VR, immersive tech. Signals the festival circuit is recognizing innovation beyond traditional film and TV.
The Durban Film Mart in South Africa unveiled 31 projects for its Pitch and Finance Forum. Focus this year. Stories that unite.
Fantastic initiative.
Supporting African filmmakers, fostering international collaboration.
Durban Film Mart plays such a vital role. Nurturing projects, connecting filmmakers with the global industry, helping get those diverse perspectives, those stories that unite, financed and seen.
And even at the Cannes market, usually lots of indies. The next Hunger Games film.
Sunrise on the Reaping.
Expected to be the biggest budget film there, maybe up to $200 million budget. Shows the power of those big franchises.
Yeah, despite the diverse market, having a huge franchise film like that reaffirms the commercial appeal of established IP. Studios still willing to invest big in those global entertainment properties.
Okay, let's shift focus again. Independent art house scene. Sam Battle, Look Mum, No Computer.
Oh, him. He's amazing.
Just fascinating, right? Musician, inventor, builds these incredible DIY synths, shares it all on YouTube, runs that hands-on space in Ramsgate. This museum is not obsolete.
He really embodies that DIY spirit, doesn't he? Making tech accessible for creativity.
Totally. Open source, demystifying things, encouraging curiosity.
Fosters community. Makes complex tech approachable. Learning through play. Very democratic approach to music, tech.
Vicky Creeps and Emma Mackey. Starring in a queer drama, Hot Milk.
Based on the Deborah Levy novel.
Yeah. Premiered at Berlin. Sounds emotionally intense, desire-driven, set in Spain.
Levy's novel exploring those complex emotions, mother-daughter stuff, queer themes, plus Creeps and Mackey, suggests a really nuanced, resonant indie film. Likely hit hard at Berlinale.
37 seconds. Won Best French Series at Series Mania. Sounds powerful.
What's it about?
Inspired by the real-life sinking of the fishing trawler Bugle Breeze. Created by Anne Landois and Sophie Cosbren. Streaming on art.tv. Shows how real events can fuel impactful stories.
Being inspired by a real tragedy gives it significant weight, and winning at Series Mania underlines the quality. Definitely one to note for compelling, relevant drama.
Magnolia Pictures picked up a Sundance doc. Folk Tales.
Sounds nice.
Totally heartwarming, apparently. Focuses on teenagers and their sled dogs in Arctic Norway. Just makes you smile.
Okay. Acquisition by Magnolia suggests potential to connect broadly. Enduring appeal of those human interest stories, resilience, companionship, nature.
Pyramid International got global sales for a Japanese drama, Kokuho.
Directed by Lee Sang-il.
Yeah. Premiere at Cannes, about the relationship between a Yakuza boss's son and a kabuki actor mentor. Unique cultural clash there.
Yakuza world meets Kabuki world. Potentially very rich, visually striking backdrop for drama. Getting global sales before Cannes signals strong international interest in that premise.
India is getting its first high-concept content studio, MadLab Alpha.
High concept.
Yeah, launching with $30 million investment, focusing on cerebral thrillers, dystopian sagas. Sounds like an exciting development for the Indian film and OTT scene, maybe more genre stuff.
That's significant investment. Signals growing ambition, diversification in Indian entertainment, catering to evolving tastes, appetite for genre-bending, thought-provoking stories.
Reason 8 secured U.S. deals for a horror film called Forgive Us All.
Ominous title.
Sounds intense. Virus turns people into cannibals. Definitely not for the faint-hearted.
Securing multiple U.S. deals suggests strong market demand for horror, right? Especially high-concept stuff tapping into primal fears. Post-apocalyptic cannibals still has terrifying appeal for fans.
Go Production Office acquired international rights for a Swedish debut feature, If War Comes.
Starring Dennis Levant. Always compelling.
Premise is intriguing. Rural farm worker gets obsessed with turning his house into a fortress after finding some pamphlet. Sounds like it could explore paranoia, societal anxiety.
Yeah, that premise reacting to perceived threats with extreme, isolated behavior, strong potential for character drama, exploring timely themes. Levant adds artistic credibility.
Picture House Entertainment picked up UK Ireland rights for 2 Sundance films. Sorry Baby, a comedy drama.
And the other.
If I Had Legs, I'd Kick Ya. Great title. Good to see indies finding distribution.
Absolutely crucial. Distributors like Picture House getting Sundance films to local audiences keeps independent cinema vibrant, brings diverse stories to the public.
And True Colors got international deals for a Berlinale genre film, Reflection in a Dead Diamond.
What kind of genre?
Described as a stylish tribute to 1960s Euro spy stories. Sounds visually interesting, maybe nostalgic.
Yeah, that tribute angle suggests a distinctive look, retro aesthetic, appeals to genre fans. Multiple deals after Berlinale shows broad appeal in that market.
Finally, distribution-wise, Swiss broadcaster SRF bought 104 episodes of At Our Neighbor's Table.
Food and travel.
Yep. Just shows the enduring popularity of that kind of comforting escapist TV for lots of viewers.
Definitely. Acquiring that many episodes speaks to a liable audience interest. Armchair travel, exploring cultures and cuisines, it just keeps resonating.
Okay, slight shift. Key executive moves. Alex Mahon, former Channel 4 CEO.
Where's she gone?
CEO of Superstruct Entertainment, major player in live entertainment experiences. Lots of movement between sectors, it seems.
Mahon moving from broadcasting to live entertainment highlights those blurring lines, doesn't it, between different media segments? Shows high-level exec skills are transferable.
Domingo Corral stepping down as Movistar Plus content director. Leadership reshuffle there.
Some pain, yeah.
New roles for Jorge Pezzi, Hugo Tomas, as they develop their entertainment focus. Interesting to see how internal shifts affect content strategy.
Leadership changes often reflect strategic shifts, evolving priorities as streamers navigate that competitive landscape, always changing.
Carla Frizz is leading Universal Pictures International in Germany and Austria.
Key markets.
Definitely. Underscores the importance studios place on those European territories for distribution.
Yeah, appointing experienced execs like Frizz there shows how vital those regions are for global box office, international strategy. Needs strong leadership.
Britta Meyerman, named Managing Director of Odeon Fiction.
Been there a while, right?
Decade. Instrumental in their international co-productions. Seems like recognition for her work.
Promotion like that signals continuity, confidence in her leadership, recognition of her contributions, especially in co-pros.
Frank McDonald joining True Vision as Director of Development.
Factual background.
Yeah, Mercury Studios, Raw Cut Television. Suggests True Vision's keeping that strong focus on factual programming.
McDonald's track record reinforces their commitment to high-quality nonfiction, investing in experienced leadership for development.
Big change at Fulcrum Media Finance, too. Zach Parker is the new CEO. Tim Phillips departs.
And Sally Kaplan joining.
As executive chair, yeah. Interesting to track shifts in the money side of the industry.
Absolutely. Leadership changes in media finance can really impact what gets funded. The whole investment landscape could signal shifts in strategy or priorities there.
Matt James appointed Chief Sales Officer at Nine Entertainment in Australia.
Covering TV, audio, print.
Yeah, reflects that integrated nature of modern media conglomerates.
His appointment across that diverse portfolio underscores the need for unified sales strategies now. Multi-platform world, offering integrated ad solutions.
And Marie Garrett, co-founder of Pulsar Content, joining XYZ Films as SVP Sales and Acquisitions.
Strategic move for XYZ.
Seems like it. Bolstering international sales, Co-production efforts.
Garrett's experience in international sales, co-pros. Huge asset for XYZ as they expand globally, diversify, build more partnerships.
Okay, finally, just a couple of quick notes. Festivals, renewals, Apple dropped the trailer for the Bono doc, Stories of Surrender.
Ahead of Cannes premiere.
Yeah, that'll generate buzz.
For sure. Premiering a doc about an icon like Bono at Cannes. Strategic move for media attention, critical buzz. Trailer builds anticipation.
And like we said, Lionsgate's Hunger Games. Sunrise on the Reaping, highest budget film at the Cannes market.
Underscores that franchise power again.
Highlights the commercial significance, ongoing appeal of major IP globally.
Its presence there just reaffirms the commercial might, the huge sums studios invest, recognizing that massive global box office potential.
Renewals. Netflix bringing back North of North.
The Canadian comedy.
Yep, second season. Good news for fans, shows Netflix's commitment to international stuff.
Renewing an international series like that demonstrates investment in content from diverse regions. Shows it resonated with subscribers.
And UK TV renewed the Bergerac reboot.
The detective series, second season too.
Yeah. Indicates audience interest in revisiting, reimagining classics for today.
Renewing a reboot like Bergerac suggests they found success tapping into nostalgia while attracting new viewers. Common strategy, using established IP with built-in fans.
Okay, wow. That was a truly deep dive. Covered an incredible amount across global TV, film, media. What would you say? What are a couple of the key themes, surprising connections that struck you?
I think one big takeaway is that constant push and pull, isn't it? Between the established traditional models and the ongoing disruption from streaming tech.
Definitely.
We see AMC adopting specific strategies, Foxtel undergoing fundamental shifts. It really highlights there's no one-size-fits-all approach right now. Environment's evolving so fast.
Absolutely. And I was also really struck by just the sheer global interconnectedness of it all.
Yeah, that came through strongly.
From anime's reach to Norwegian dramas akin a series, Indian studios aiming high internationally. Geographical boundaries just feel increasingly irrelevant for creating and watching media.
Precisely. And tied to that global reach is a remarkable level of innovation we're seeing, just everywhere.
Like the BBC using AI.
Yeah, or Eli Roth's crazy financing model, or the rise of fast channels. The industry is constantly experimenting, new ways to create, fund, deliver content worldwide.
So what does all this mean for you, our listener? Well, hopefully this deep dive gave you a much clearer picture of the big forces shaping the media you watch, listen to, interact with. Whether you're a casual viewer, maybe an aspiring creator, or just someone who likes to stay informed. Understanding these trends helps you navigate this huge world of entertainment. Maybe even anticipate what's next.
Indeed. By keeping up with this stuff, you get a deeper appreciation for the complexities, the dynamics of the global industry. Understand the factors influencing what ends up on your screen.
And on that note, here's something to mull over. As these lines keep blurring, global platforms, niche content, and as tech like AI gets more integrated into making stuff, what entirely new forms of storytelling, of audience engagement, might pop up and become, well, commonplace in the years ahead?
That is a fascinating question.
Definitely going to be an interesting journey to watch unfold.